Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with the daily stock market and happy holidays to everybody listening and watching. We have some interesting stuff to talk about going on this week. It's going to be a great recap video. We're going to talk about the three best stocks to be watching and buying in December 2023. So make sure you strap in, subscribe on YouTube for all the full length videos so you don't miss any future videos. And without any further ado, let's dive right into the video. So the first stock that we're going to be talking about is Tesla at $256 per share. It's just hanging out right now. In the last week, it's up 8%. The last month, up 6%. And in the last 3 months, it's down 4%. So not much going on with Tesla, but remember at the end of October, right around Halloween, we saw Tesla briefly go under $200 per share. Now, since those levels, it's actually up around 20 to 30%, so it could have been a good swing trade if you got in at the right time. So personally, I'm setting price alerts to buy a little bit heavier, around $200 per share. I think that Tesla will definitely test $200 per share again and go into the 190 range or even the 180 range. All big tech stocks right now are green at 52-week highs and all-time highs also. So Tesla could follow suit and ride the wave up to around $300 per share. Tesla's also a stock I believe in for the long term, the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. I believe in Tesla stock. So personally, I'm dollar cost averaging slowly but surely, no matter what price it is, every single week into Tesla. But once it goes under $200 per share, like I said earlier, which I think it will, I'll be buying shares a little bit heavier. Okay, so as we scroll down, we can see that the market cap is $800 billion. So it's close to a $1 trillion market cap, and there is potential of Tesla being one of the biggest companies in the entire world, surpassing Apple stock if they integrate with AI and robots properly. If they're able to replace a warehouse job that a person does 9 to 5 with just one of their new Tesla robots, that's really when the money's going to be made. Lots of profits and revenues are going to be coming from that. And also, if Teslas are able to drive themselves without the owner having to be in the car, that's also Tesla's big play, is autonomous robo-taxis. So those two things, if they come to fruition alone, Tesla could be one of the biggest companies in the world. Now, no one knows when that's going to happen or if that's going to happen. It could be another 20 years before those things happen, and Tesla could go through a lot of turmoil in that time in between. So there's a lot of unknown, and that's where the risk with Tesla comes in. You can't bet your full portfolio on something like Tesla. I personally allocate no more than 10% of my portfolio size to something like Tesla, and that's honestly a little bit heavy. So scroll down, look at portfolio diversification, and it's a very important thing to look at. And if it's over 10% total on Tesla, you might want to reconsider some things, especially if it hits $300 per share and tests new all-time highs once again. We also have a PE ratio at 82, implying that it is overvalued compared to the rest of the S&P 500. So some more bullish points to consider by an analyst newsletter that I like, Morningstar. This was updated December 1st, by the way. Through the combination of Tesla's industry-leading technology and its unique supercharging network, which we didn't even talk about in this video yet, and that's not going to take 10, 20 years. Okay, the supercharger network is going to be a great revenue producer, a great brand builder, and a good net income producer. Remember, big legacy automakers like Ford, GM, Volkswagen are all partnering with Tesla because of their supercharging network. Okay, the company's network offers the best function of any on the market, which should help Tesla maintain its market leader status in EV adoption increases. Okay, so that's a huge bullish thing to be considering, is their supercharger network. A lot of analysts don't even talk about that. Tesla will see higher profit margins as it reduces units production over the next several years. Tesla also has the potential to disrupt the automotive and power generation industries with its technology for EVs, AVs, battery, and solar generation systems. Keep in mind that Tesla is also a solar company. We didn't even touch on that in this video either. which analysts don't even consider also. And they're a solar company that not only commercial people could reach out to, but residential homeowners can reach out to Tesla and get solar inputted on their home as well. Now, some bearish things to consider, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We do have to consider some of the negative side. We already went over some of the risks, but let's go over a few others highlighted by some analysts. Solar panels and battery prices will decline faster than Tesla can reduce the cost, resulting in little to no profits for the energy generation and storage business. Tesla's reliance on batteries made in China for its lower price Model 3 vehicles will hurt sales, as these autos will not qualify for U.S. subsidies. Okay, and keep in mind that a bullish thing, going back to bullish real quick, that Tesla still is very, very small percentage in China, and they could expand exponentially in not only China, but Europe and South America in the next decade or so. Traditional legacy automakers and new automakers are investing heavily into EV development, electric vehicle development, which will result in Tesla seeing a deceleration in sales growth and being forced to cut prices due to its increased competition, eroding profit margins for Tesla. And we can kind of see that right here. The last 4 quarters, Tesla's EPS profits are shrinking quarter over quarter, going lower and lower, almost cut into 50%, dropped 50% year over year. Next earnings is going to be next month, about 30 days from now, January 24th. So it's going to be important to have that date on your calendar and be paying attention to the earnings that Tesla's putting out. We really want them to put out an uptick in earnings. So as long as it's higher than Q3 was, that's going to be a really great sign, because we don't want to see a continued downward momentum from Tesla on their EPS. It's one of the most important things to be tracking in the stock market right now is quarter over quarter profit growth, EPS growth, and Tesla is not doing that. So in my opinion, that's one of the most important things to be tracking right now for Tesla in the next 30 days. My next favorite stock for December 2023 to end the year is Amazon, up 4% in the past week, 7.9% in the past month, and year to date, they are up 80%. So that's why you got to be dollar cost averaging into this one over time. And right now, remember, they are at around a 52-week high. They're definitely at a 52-week high, up 80% in the last year. They're not at a 5-year high, and they're not at an all-time high. Remember, their all-time high is closer to $183 per share. We see Apple at all-time highs. We see Meta at all-time highs. We see Google at all-time highs, Microsoft at all-time highs. The list goes on and on. Amazon is one of the only Magnificent 7 stocks that is not at an all-time high. They could be a good value right now if you want to swing trade them up to $180 per share. They could be good to dollar cost average in, even though you should have been doing that all 2023. And if you were on the sidelines of 2023, I don't know what to tell you. You're not supposed to sit out and just choose the years that you're going to be, investing in the stock market. You're supposed to be investing consistently every single month, no matter what the stock market's doing, and not trying to time it or buy it. You're supposed to think about more of a long-term vision. And if you didn't do that with Amazon, then this is a prime example of why you need to do that moving forward. Okay, just dollar cost averaging and forgetting about it. In my opinion, we will see Amazon closer to $125 per share once again. So I have price alerts at $125. I'm buying a little bit heavier at those levels. I also have price alerts at like $115, $105, $95 per share. And that's where I'll be buying the heaviest. But I'm continuing to dollar cost average into Amazon for long term, because they're a company I believe in for the long term. The next 10 years, my money's on Amazon. E-commerce is obviously only getting bigger and bigger, and 50% of all of e-commerce is all from Amazon. Everyone just goes to Amazon, they buy what they need, everything's on Amazon, it's 2-day shipping, and it's getting quicker and quicker, and it's just amazing what Amazon can do. So I definitely think they will be higher than $200 per share. Once again, it could take 12 to 24 months to see those new all-time highs. But in my personal opinion, I think we can easily, safely see 10 to 20% per year growth on Amazon stock over the next 5 to 10 years. And that's 10 to 20% per year averaged out over the next 10 years. So that's what I want from my stocks. That's what Amazon, I think, can deliver. Here we can see that it has a market cap of $1.59 trillion. So it's nearly double the size of something like Tesla, one of the biggest companies in the entire world, as the PE ratio, price to earning ratio of 80. So around the same value of Tesla right now. But instead of investing in one or the other, I personally like to invest into both. Okay, they are both totally different sectors, but ultimately, I think they will both be heavily evolved into AI, is where the overlap will probably come in the future. What the bullish analyst newsletter has to say about Amazon is Amazon Prime membership help attract and retain customers who spend more with Amazon. This reinforces a powerful network effect while bringing in reoccurring and high margin revenue. High margin advertising and AWS are growing faster than the corporate average, which should continue to boost profitability over the next several years. Great company to invest in. And if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, by the way, I've been investing in and talking about Amazon all of 2023. Every single month, Amazon has been one of my favorites. So you're up around 80% just from subscribing to this channel. So moving on, Amazon is the clear leader in e-commerce and enjoys unrivaled scale to continue to invest in growth opportunities and drive the very best consumer experience. Amazon is the definition of a competitive, durable advantage in the market, and no one is even close to Amazon. Warren Buffett would love this stock, and I'm surprised he doesn't invest more into Amazon. But moving on to some bearish things or some risks, things to watch out for when investing in Amazon. We can see that Amazon may not be as successful in penetrating new retail categories such as luxury goods due to consumer preferences and an improved e-commerce experience from larger retailers. New investments, notably in fulfillment, delivery, and AWS, should damp free cash flow growth. Also, Amazon's penetration into some countries might be harder than the US due to inferior logistic networks, but that won't always be the case in the next 5 to 10 years. Those inferior logistic networks could drastically get improvements, boosting Amazon's penetration into other countries. Regulatory concerns are rising for large technology firms, including Amazon. Further, the firm may face increasing regulatory and compliance issues as it expands internationally. Okay, so this is not something I wouldn't really be worried about at all. Privacy concerns are always a big thing, and monopolies and things like that, but they're always just noise and never anything more than noise. So I don't think that'll change. Here's a great thing. We can see that the earnings, the EPS on Amazon is looking absolutely beautiful over the last 4 quarters, and that reflects the share price's growth, the EPS. We can see quarter over quarter gaining every single quarter and also beating analyst expectations every single quarter. So hopefully on the 1st of February, when they report earnings after hours, mark your calendars, by the way, we will continue to see that growth. And if we see a big miss and the company's stock price falls and Amazon stock price goes down, Amazon stock, it is one of my favorite stocks right now in the stock market, dollar cost averaging in consistently every single week, every single month, but also looking for a big dip and more buying opportunities to lower my average cost as close to $100 per share as possible. And the last stock that we will be talking about is actually not a stock at all. It's an ETF, and it's the S&P 500 ETF, okay? So it's more of an index fund if we're talking about the S&P 500 as a whole, but the ETF version of the S&P 500 is ticker symbol SPY, and it's been around for an extremely long time. We can go all the way and track its history for the last 23 years, and it's up 240% overall since that time. It's up 24% just in the last year alone. And the reason why I want to talk about the S&P 500 in this video and right now is because a lot of people are asking me about it. It reflects the stock market as a whole, and it's at all-time highs right now. The last time it set an all-time high was the new year, around January 1st, 2022, and that was around $470 per share, which it's currently sitting at right now. Now, in my opinion, obviously, dollar cost averaging in for the long term is the way to go. But I think we can see a dip on the S&P 500. We've seen it rise up meteorically over the last year, up 24%. So I think we could see a healthy retracement of 10%. Around $425 per share is a good place to set some price targets and buy a little bit heavier around those price targets. So don't be the FOMO person that thinks they're going to be missing out and putting $10,000 in at all-time highs. Spread it out, dollar cost average, and put your price alerts around $425 or lower, even $380 per share, and buy a little bit heavier, $1,000 at a time, for example, when we hit those price alerts and those price points. And if you see the share price of 471 and think that's too much, remember, you could buy fractional shares. You can buy $5 at a time. $5 a week adds up over time. So if you can only do $5 a week, put it in. Don't squander the opportunity. Do it now over the years, and if you plan on holding for a long time, it's definitely going to add up. And what's great about this fund is you don't have to manage it. It's managed for you. So if these are the top 10 holdings, by the way, it makes up 30% of the entire fund. 7% Apple, 7% Microsoft, 3% Amazon, 3% Nvidia, 2% Google, 2% Meta Platforms, around 2% Tesla, and so on and so forth. And there's 500 stocks that make up this basket of stocks. So the good thing is, if one of them's not performing the right way, they take it out for you. They manage everything for you. BlackRock owns this, the largest company in the entire world. So they're doing it the right way for you. And they're going to be taking out the stocks if they're not performing, putting in the stocks that are performing. So you can literally just invest in the SPY for the rest of your life, never have to do anything else, and you can still beat the market that way. So that's what a lot of people do. Another good ETF is VTI, QQQ, VOO, or some other good ones to look into. So I hope you guys really appreciate that video. Sorry for the audio difficulties in the beginning of the video, but it did clear up. So I hope you guys appreciate me going into detail in all of my favorite stocks and all the top stocks of 2023 December edition. If you appreciate the content, just slap a thumbs up, share this video with a friend, and if you want to get into my secret community, my stock market family, click on success number 9, click on success number 8, read through these positive testimonials. There's been massive success in the group. Every single week, people are making money in that group consistently. So read through some of those positive testimonials, see what's going on. Success consistently every day in the private group. Can't share all the success stories every day. So I'm not able to post all the success stories all the time, but I try to share as much as possible. And if you want to reach out to me and join that, just message me, The Daily Stock Market, 220,000 followers, 863 posts. There are some fake pages out there, so be careful. Make sure you're messaging The Daily Stock Market. This is my official Instagram page and my only Instagram page. Thank you for helping me grow on Instagram and YouTube. Share this video with a friend. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.